Esteemed colleagues, let us embark on an intellectual exploration of a theoretical framework that proposes to unify physics and consciousness. This is not an attempt to replace our established theories, but rather a generalization of them, one that seeks to build a more comprehensive understanding of reality, beginning with the very foundations of quantum measurement theory.
Our discussion will proceed in a logical fashion. First, we will establish the foundational problems in physics that this theory seeks to address. We shall then systematically build its proposed solutions, examining a new geometry of the universe, the Zero Energy Ontology, and how these concepts give rise to a quantum theory of consciousness, a principle of evolution, and finally, a new synthesis of physics and conscious existence.
We begin then by contextualizing our discussion. We must look to the profound and as yet unresolved paradoxes that lie at the very heart of modern physics. These are not minor issues, but deep, foundational conflicts. At the center of it all is this fundamental question. It highlights a deep chasm between our models of the physical world, which are largely deterministic, and our direct experience of existence, particularly our experience of volition or free will, which feels decidedly non-deterministic.
The primary crisis stems from the two irreconcilable pillars of 20th century physics. On one hand, we have general relativity, a deterministic theory governing the cosmos. On the other, we have quantum theory, a fundamentally probabilistic framework for the particle realm. The clash between the two becomes most acute in the observer problem, where the non-deterministic collapse of the wave function remains a profound mystery.
The proposed solution begins, perhaps surprisingly, not with consciousness, but with a radical reformulation of the very fabric of reality, space-time itself. The intention is to create a new foundation where these conflicts are resolved from the outset.
This generalization is not arbitrary. By positing that our familiar four-dimensional universe is in fact a surface embedded within a higher eight-dimensional space, certain foundational problems in general relativity, such as the loss of conservation laws in curved spacetimes, can be addressed.
In this view, the universe is not a succession of three-dimensional snapshots. Instead, reality is composed of entire four-dimensional histories, or Bohr orbits, which are treated as the fundamental objects. An object's existence is its entire world line, its complete history, treated as a single geometric entity.
Building upon this new geometry, we now introduce the central mechanism of the theory, the Zero Energy Ontology, or ZEO. This provides a new way of looking at quantum states themselves. This shifts our perspective entirely. Instead of quantum states representing a being at a single moment in time, they represent a state of becoming across a duration of time. A quantum state is a superposition of entire four-dimensional time evolutions.
This causal diamond provides the arena for these 4D histories. It defines a finite perceptive field bounded by a past and future light cone within which these superpositions of realities exist.
And here is the crucial insight. Because quantum jumps occur between entire four-dimensional realities, the conflict between deterministic evolution and non-deterministic measurement is resolved. The evolution within each 4D history is deterministic, but the jump between them is not. The measurement problem, as it is traditionally understood, simply vanishes.
We are now in a position to connect this new physical ontology directly to the phenomenon of consciousness. The framework of quantum jumps between realities provides a natural candidate for the physical correlate of conscious experience.
A conscious entity, a self, is defined as a sequence of these small state function reductions. Each reduction is a moment of consciousness, a weak quantum measurement that doesn't change the boundary of the causal diamond. The sequence of these moments constitutes our subjective experience of time's passage.
This framework then posits a universal cycle of existence. A life is a sequence of these small reductions. A big reduction, corresponding to an event like biological death, terminates the sequence. However, this is not an end, but rather a recreation of the self, which begins a new sequence, but now with the reversed temporal direction.
Having defined the mechanism of consciousness as a series of quantum jumps, we must now ask, what guides them? What is the principle that governs this process?
We are all, of course, familiar with the second law of thermodynamics. It is the inexorable principle that physical systems left to themselves tend towards a state of maximum disorder or entropy.
The negentropy maximization principle, or NMP,
posits a parallel but distinct law for conscious systems. It states that quantum jumps are not random, but are directed so as to maximize the gain of negatropy, a measure of conscious information. This provides a physical basis for cognition and indeed evolution.
Therefore, within this framework, evolution is not a mere accident of random mutation and selection. It is a fundamental tendency of conscious systems, a drive towards greater complexity and information, as described by the negentropy maximization principle.
Let us conclude, then, by summarizing this proposed unification of physical and conscious existence. It suggests a move towards what one might call a post-materialist ontology.
This framework suggests an ontology with two inseparable aspects. There is physical existence, the mathematical reality of all possible quantum states, a quantum Platonia, and then there is conscious existence, which is the very process of quantum jumps occurring between these states. The two are distinct, but codependent modes of reality.
This theory, by providing a mechanism for conscious memory and information gain within its very structure, compels us to reconsider the role of consciousness. It suggests it is not merely an emergent property of complex matter, but rather a fundamental process of reality itself, a process by which the universe, perhaps, learns of its own existence, a truly profound thought on which to reflect.